It is another week, fans of golf podcast, and I am joined as always by my panel of experts. A lot of golf experience with us here between our regular co-host and guests. To my left, hailing from Kentucky, man that knows everybody, most connected man in golf, our resident golf historian. Let's get ready to rumble, Bobby Baldessari.
We need to talk in British accents this
Oh,
week.
good show, good show, and from down to my bottom
Cheers,
right,
cheers. Cheers, cheers.
to my bottom right, golf columnist and a PGA Award winner, Brendan Elliott. Brendan, good show, sir. Good to see you.
Thank you, Alan. Thank you.
Yes. And could that be? Could that be the prettiest podcaster in golf?
Is he
Young
here?
lad.
Is he
He's
here?
a young laddie.
Who is that? Who is that bloke?
Andy's on a
laddie.
flight. Andy's not here.
A laddie. He's a laddie.
He may wear cadet juniors, but it's Christian Nozavis.
Don't pronounce my last name wrong.
And as always, Alan
With the
DeVere.
accent.
Alan DeVere.
Alan Fear.
All right, can I just jump to something? I know we got Open Championship. We've got little banter between golfing superstars. We have golfing entertainers. I'm actually going off a list here for the first time, maybe in like, I don't know, 3 years. And but I want to rant. Since I have two esteemed PGA members on here, and for the golfing public that's out there, I got to share, there is a kind of unwritten rule that PGA members will extend other PGA members the opportunity to come to their property, and it's respected. You don't go at 8 a.m. on Saturday morning. You call up, and it's kind of a professional courtesy. Superintendent's Association, the GCSAA, they do the same thing. I need to give that background. Here's where I go off the rails. I'm sitting at the Eagle Ridge, one of the many jobs that I do in golf, and this dude appears in my door. And he goes, hey, I just want to tell you the story, what really happened. I'm like, hi, can I help you? He goes, yeah, and Brennan, you might even be able to help me out. U.S. teaching something.
Yeah.
Okay. So this person stands in my door and he proceeds to tell me, and I'm going to give you the very abbreviated version because I can't ever give that 20 minutes of my life back, about how he attempted to come down there. He attempted to call Riley. He attempted to do this. He attempted to do that. I said, but we only extend professional courtesy to PGA member and GCSAA members. But I'm a teacher. I said, you're really not. But I am. But you're really not. Did you call Riley? Well, no, but I want to tell you. And then I said, well, I've been in the business a long time. I need to extend this. You really need to call in advance, and I'm still going to bang you for the full greens fees. So I did.
Exactly.
Yep.
2 days ago, Riley gets an email from this clown. His name's Kyle, by the way. Kyle, if you're listening, you're a clown. Okay. She gets an email from this clown that says, I just wanted to explain myself. I had a tea time, TEA.
Oh, God.
Golf columnist or golf instructor, golf writer, Mr. Elliott. Is it TEA? I don't think so.
No.
So anyway, he proceeds to, first of all, at one point he called me a monkey effing a football, and how I had a blank stare on my face when he was talking to me, because I was sitting there the whole time going, what are you trying to, I literally said to him at one point, are you trying to get a free round of golf? Is that what the objective there is? So I'm going there early, Bobby. Hashtag, don't be Kyle, the U.S. teacher clown. Don't be that guy.
Yeah, that's awful. Well, the PGA market's pretty much a code of ethics violation in some regards. If you try to do that and undermine another PGA member, you have to call ahead. I would call you and go, I'm going to be in the area. Is there a time or a day that would be convenient? I'd like to come out and play the course. You know, it's always a nice comp. You get a courtesy, but it's all at the course's discretion. I've charged PGA members in my shop who never called ahead, totally assumed it. One guy threw his PGA card down on the desk. And I said, oh, that's great. You're a PGA member. Here's the fee. I didn't give him a discount. There's a way to do it the right way.
Right. I concur. BE.
Yeah, and actually I know that there's perks of being a PGA member, but I don't look to take advantage. And it just sounds like this was a guy purely trying to take advantage. And in all honesty, I do know a few people that went through that curriculum with the US teachers. It's not bad. And there are some people that I know that are decent teachers, have a pretty good following that went through that. But that I don't think that's really what it's about. I think it's how you conduct yourself as a professional, regardless of what your PGA or golf course superintendents or whatever. And it just sounds like this guy, Kyle. Jeez, Kyle.
Kyle.
I'll make one more comment. Like if the
Well,
reason you're
if I,
trying to
if I sit here with a blank stare, I'm just listening. I'm not.
I mean, if the reason you're trying to be a PGA member or one of these things is free golf, you picked the wrong career. I mean, it's never crossed my mind. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Christian, have you ever seen me with a blank stare?
Yes. I have.
Christian, have you ever seen me with a blank stare without Jameson?
Yes.
Oh, God.
I have.
If you missed a putt,
It's better with
Yes.
Jameson, though. I will say it looks better with Jameson.
Yes, missing
My
a putt
cheeks get all
inside of 10
rosy
feet.
and I just get all just. All right, so I got that off my chest. And I did that because I needed to remove the negatives, embrace the positives.
Yes,
But there's conflict everywhere.
everywhere.
Everywhere. And there's conflict between Tiger Woods
Mhm.
and Mr. Montgomery. Mr. Montgomery,
Portland.
I say, give it up, Tiger.
I think he also said he might have get not the full context of his quote, but I think the gist of the quote got to Tiger, and Tiger's response was classic Tiger.
For
Yeah, I
those
was
of you,
reading.
for those of you that are not aware, Mr. Elliott, would you please share?
Well, this is how I saw it. One of these headlines that says major or it said major champion, but now that I'm thinking it's Monty, he never won a major championship, did he?
No,
But it did. Maybe it said Hall. I don't know what it was,
He
but
was
I'm
so
like,
close
oh,
on that one U.S. Open. So close.
whoever it was leaving it a mystery in the headline that this person told Tiger to
Clickbait.
retire. And then I read who it was. I'm like, oh, who cares? Who cares?
And his response, Christian, was
Well, I'm exempt till 60.
I love it.
I won.
I mean, he's right though.
I
mean,
don't think Colin is.
you can't poke the goat. Sorry. If you poke the goat, he's gonna come running after you. So
He's gonna be like
that's why
the
that's
goat's
why
gonna
Tiger's
become
still
almost like the bear.
true. So
Hey, when
know.
Tiger wins this week, he can thank Monty for lighting the fire.
if that happened and he said that in his post-round interview after the 72nd hole, that might go down as one of the greatest moments in golf history.
Thanks,
honestly.
Monty.
Thanks, Monty. This one's for you.
Cheers and cheers.
Even though I was exempt till I'm 60, I've got another 5 years in all the majors.
True.
That would be funny. Will he win this week, Bobby?
No, I don't see it, but I think he can have a good week. I think he can make the cut. I think if he gets a decent draw, he's competitive, but I don't know. I don't see him making it. I played Troon in 2003 when I did a trip over there, and I birdied the postage stamp hole. I have that forever.
Is there an and?
I had haggis that night.
There you
And
go.
Bourbon Bob is the actual goat.
That's right.
Uh,
So don't poke Bourbon Bob.
yeah,
Unless he wants a refill.
I remember 17 was a tough hole. Yeah, I played pretty well that day, I think overall, but I just remember thinking that's pretty cool birdie in that little postage stamp.
I'll tell you what, short playing is the shortest hole in major championship, I believe, right? Or
I think
is
so.
was LA Country
Well,
Club shorter? Maybe it's the shortest
Oh.
shortest in the Open Championship.
Yeah, because LA was under 100 at one point
Right.
during the week, I think.
I love it that it's so short and so hard, and they've lengthened 17. So I think the fallacy has got to be unbelievably long to be challenging and tough. And there's 99-yard holes out there that are, you make three and you run. They're just
Yeah.
so good. They're so hard.
What's the weather this week?
That
By the way.
bunker on the back left, that literally is about as wide as my desk, which is about 3 feet wide.
Yeah, the coffin bunker.
Yeah.
Did not get in that.
And then after you blade it out of that, you're in the bunker on the other side.
There's no bargain. The whole right side slopes off. There's like kidding onto a pool table. It's not that big, but it's just so good. It's so cool. It's got the history. So
And that's why you are our historian. So,
That's right.
but 62 degrees and 15-mile-an-hour winds, I think, is what the last I saw. Not conducive to the Tiger. Not conducive to Eldrick there, Mr. Elliott.
Was there rain in the forecast too?
All 4 days.
That's what I like.
Love
But there's
that.
not a lot, Bobby, when you played it, was it, I mean, I know it's linked, so there's a lot of rolling hills, but it's not really too up and down, is it?
now the whole front nine, there's I wouldn't even call it big undulations. There's some mounding and stuff, but I mean it's relatively flat. But yeah, I'm looking at the weather for the week, and you never know because it could look to be decent and it turns out awful, and vice versa. And then
Right.
3 times during the round, you get jackets on and off. But yeah, if it's chilly and cold, that doesn't work for Tiger.
No, not even close.
Christian, let's talk about the betting scene because I know you're throwing money down.
I already got the bets in. Gonna wake up and there's gonna be money in my account.
What's your lock bet for the people out there?
Harold Hatton top 20, Sung J M top 20, Rory top 20, and Colin Morikawa top 10.
Is that your parlay?
That's one of my parlays. Yeah.
Are we picking winners?
Not yet. BE, do you have Phil making the cut?
Bill making the cut?
Yeah.
No. But so all I've done so far is pick the wins on Hard Rock, which we can do down here in Florida. And I've got Batea. I put 10 on him. Bobby Mack. I think he's my favorite, Robert McIntyre. And I got Colin, and I did put a little bit Christian put earmuffs Christian. I did put some on Tiger. But it's $1, and it was getting me, God, pretty good chunk of change if he pulls it out.
Can I get a price check on that? It's $1.
But I haven't done any of my parlays or anything yet. I'm gonna wait till like 2:00 in the morning. Wait, when's the first time go off with the 6-hour difference?
6 some, it was 6:40.
You're probably watching golf at like 1 a.m.
So I got to put them in at midnight for the first day.
Yep.
It's pretty open, I think. Hence the name, the Open. I think it's pretty open championship this year. I think there's a lot of names that could go to it. Here's a shocker. I'm not picking Scotty to finish inside the top 20. I just don't think it suits him. Like, I don't know.
No, I have a bet that I didn't send you guys that it's a gross one, but I'm not gonna say it until screw it. I have Scotty missing the cut this week.
Ooh.
So Christian and I are on the same page.
I got Scotty missing the cut this week. I got a couple
Do
shocking.
you think that
Well-
the run is over?
No, not even close to being over. But when you go to a golf course that, statistically speaking, Scotty does not per se play a lot of links golf very. I'm not saying he doesn't play it well, but this course in particular, in my opinion, does not suit his eye. And we saw it at Pinehurst, and I think we're going to see it again this week. Where, I mean, yeah, he's going to struggle, right? You got to look at it from who plays well in the weather conditions, and a lot of European golfers play phenomenal in that. So like I automatically look at Rory, I look at Tommy Fleetwood, who can flight the ball very low. I think of John Rahm, who can flight the ball very low. Those guys and all of them have. I mean, with the exception of, no pun intended, Rory and with short game. But I mean, if Rory can make putts this week, along with the guys that I just mentioned, I mean, links golf is all about how you get up and down, basically. And if you get yourself in trouble, you can't make big numbers. You can't make doubles. And, if they just can keep the ball right in front of them, that's all that matters. Ultimately, that's how links golf is, as we all know.
Bobby, what's going to trip everybody up other than like the closing 4 holes?
I mean, weather's always a factor. The wind, even if the rain's not there, the wind, like Christian said, I think just the vagaries of playing links golf. You hit perfect yardage, perfect shot, and then it takes a quirky bounce and you go, WTF, like what the heck? And then you feel like you can get out of those crazy bunkers, and all of a sudden you may double, and you're like, I didn't hit a bad shot. Probably, the open pressure. I know we didn't get to the picks yet, but thinking through like McIntyre, he just wins. Is he like got this freedom of like, I just won big event representing my country. Now, hey, sort of like freewheeling a bit. John Rahm says he's feeling better, coming back. The toe thing, he thinks he's hitting the ball better as far as not thinking. It's not mechanical. So, I think you need that creativity around there. I wonder how Rory's going to bounce back.
The weather forecast is 63 on Thursday with misty rain. Friday 68, misty rain. Saturday 61 with almost a half an inch of rain.
Nice.
And it's all in the morning. And Sunday is 61 with more misty type rain. And I don't have, hang on a second. Oh, there they are. Look at that. 17 miles an hour winds on Thursday, 17 on Friday, 10 on Saturday, which is probably why the rain just sits in there and dumps on them. And Sunday's 12. And all the winds are basically they're all the same direction almost. What direction that sets up for the golf course, I don't know. I don't have that information in front of me.
I don't think Bryson will.
Yeah, how does Mr. YouTube do?
Yeah, I think he got, well, not lucky, but I mean, he got some good breaks in Pinehurst, but you can't be spraying into the high stuff over there.
And I think the draw is everything.
Yeah.
Like it's really going to break it. That's what it's going to come down to is luck. Luck always plays into an Open Championship. It's different than any of the other majors for sure.
Yeah, who gets the morning, afternoon draw, whichever rotation happens to be the more detrimental on Thursday and Friday. And if you're it looks like the guys that are playing early on Saturday morning, who are already back a few shots, probably because they got screwed in the draw on Thursday and Friday, they're not making up any ground because it's going to just be dumping on them.
Yeah. What about Bryson? What do you guys think about him this week?
I'm actually going to say that he does better, but I think he's a distant, far behind. I have a different name.
Yep.
I have a different name. I don't know if we're ready for picks either, but I have a different name.
Sergio, maybe?
I think they're. I think
Did he actually get into I reported that he didn't get into the field. Did he somehow manage to get in as an alternate somehow?
Oh, he didn't get in?
I don't believe he made it in, no.
I don't
Oh,
think he's in personally.
Because there was a news story like 2 weeks ago when they had the qualifier that there's so many
Oh,
people turned out and it was caused
yep.
slow play and put him on the clock and this no good.
Yeah, I'm gonna look that up. But I do remember that he threw a fit, and it's unlike Sergio to throw a fit, but
Temper tantrum,
Oh, yeah.
not his normal behavior.
No.
Yeah, so out of context, yeah,
That,
big time.
I'd love to
Yeah.
see Brian Harmon repeat. That'd be cool.
that would be cool, but he hasn't been on form.
No.
No, he's not.
No,
Going back to what you were asking about Bryson earlier, Alan. I think
You're
Bryson.
now, well, you were a hater and now you're a lover. You're a big lover.
I said it. I said it last time I was on the show. He's literally the most likable guy right now in golf. Nobody is comparing to him. Nobody is touching him. Like he is literally the most favorable person right now. He can go over to Europe. He can play here in America. He can go over to wherever, and he will be the most likable guy. However, him and Scotty were on my list to not make the cut. I do think Bryson struggles this week, and I think I should just tell you guys the bet. So it's Scotty, DJ, Patrick Cantlay, and Bryson to miss the cut. Those are my 4 players.
How much you put on that?
$10
$5?
to win 1,400.
Yeah.
Well, I got Scotty at plus 580 to miss the cut, and Bryson was plus 270.
I did see a cool little segment though with Bryson where he was talking about chipping over there and how he toe down for chipping. Yeah.
Right.
Would you like to expound on that, PGA members?
Oh, that's what I tell my kids all the time. I'll tell them take a lot less loft than they usually do, which kids tend to want to pull to 60. But I also say get close to it, get the club up and get that toe down. And that's old school, man. That's how I remember Jim Colbert and some of these old senior guys. Raymond Floyd's the best.
Raymond Floyd.
Those guys were probably like you think about the modern game, it's not, they don't hit those type of shots, but those guys were just remarkable around the greens.
Well, what? So, all right, let's compare the two. So you have that, and yes, mine was always front foot slightly open, weights on the inside of the front foot, balls back, toe down, little less loft. And now modern day is you actually have a closed stance, Victor Hovland, with the weight on the front. And Bobby, thoughts?
Victor or everything?
Just
short
everything.
game?
Just give us historical perspective on this.
Well, ground game. Keep it low to the ground. Keep the club low to the ground is what I tell, especially kids and new people. The higher the club goes off the ground, more craziness can happen. So keep the club low, keep the ball low, use the ground as your friend. But like Brennan said, too many people they're walking up to the green, they grab a sandwich, don't know the lie, don't know the distance, don't know anything. How can you possibly just pick one club? And I saw one. We're hosting a Peggy Kirk Bell junior girls event, and some of the things I'm seeing out there, I'm like, my goodness, just course management, making assumptions, not looking at the lie, pulling clubs early. I saw this young girl. She was maybe 10 yards off the green and using a laser rangefinder to look at the pin flag, the hole location. I mean, like that was so absurd. I took a photo because I couldn't believe it. I want to post it.
Christian, did you ever use a rangefinder from 10 yards off the green?
No, I don't use rangefinder, period.
Oh, okay.
So I just get up there and just hit it. But I think that's the beauty part about links golf is that you see shots that you don't normally hit, right? Everybody's bag this week is different than a normal tour event just because of the slopes and everything else. My favorite shot to hit right now in golf is a pitching wedge from 100 yards where I flight it and I have a little check go in there, like 1-2, and then it stops.
Dude, I love it when a golf course gets burnout and you get to be creative and hit all kinds of wacky kind of stuff.
I've said it. I love, and I don't mean this in a bad way. I just love seeing tour players, not struggle is not the right word, but like I love seeing them grind on every shot in a major specifically.
Well, I also
think
like to see that you like to see that probably their creativity that's generated.
I think it just makes the tournament not it's already going to be awesome to watch, but I think it just gives it that little extra umph to really be glued to your TV, right? And I think that if the winds are up and the rain and the weather is not great, like for me personally, I would love to see an over par. Just because I think that's just fascinating, right? Like I think it's just cool to see these guys grind on literally every shot. Not that they don't in a normal tournament, or a major, but I think the Open is probably one of my favorite tournaments to watch, honestly, every year.
I agree. I love watching it because of just the idiosyncrasies of the course, the weather, just
Oh, yeah.
everything. It's just it's more entertaining, really, instead of some of
Absolutely.
the other stuff. Yeah.
And there's
I
nothing
agree.
like waking up in the morning, going downstairs, have a cup of coffee, and the golf's already on, you know?
Before we hit record, I mentioned the Mike Armel, former guest of the show and owner of Boca Greens in Boca, Florida. If you're ever traveling down there, give him a shout out and go see him. But he's a huge Tiger fan. I mean, like insanely Tiger fan. And he's going to be camped out in front of the TV tomorrow. And then he's going to be up at 3 a.m. on Friday because Tiger goes out early so that he can watch. It's Mike, you're nuts. I love you, but you're nuts. Christian, pick time. Who you got? I'm saving Brendan for last because it's going to be my segue. I know Brendan already.
So it's interesting because I think there's a lot of players that can win personally. I like I'm gonna my pick is a first timer. Somebody who really loves playing on links golf and does very well. Tommy Fleetwood is my pick this week.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Tommy.
What do you have for dark horse?
My dark horse. I'm gonna go Terrell Hatton.
Ooh.
Okay.
If you consider him a dark horse.
Well, it was the US Open, and we were sitting here talking about the like number 2, 3, 4, and 5 players in the world, and we're like, yeah, they're the dark horse behind Scotty. Oh.
I do like Terrell. That's my pick. Tommy.
Wonder what he thinks of the golf course this week.
Who, Terrell?
Yeah.
I don't know. He'll probably bitch on the first hole, after hitting up the drive, and then just keep doing it. I love Terrell. I think he's funny.
BE, can you hear us?
I'm back.
No, I held off throwing it over to you. All right, well, sit for a second now that I know you're live. Bobby, who's your pick?
I'm going with Ludwig Holberg.
Oh,
yeah.
God, I want to talk about him. I got a note to talk about him with this also, but God, I love his swing. So
yeah, I'm a huge Tommy Fleetwood fan. I think he's going to play well. I think I don't know. I just got a feeling Brooks might play decent, but I don't know. I'm going to go with Holberg, and then my dark horse is actually he's a former champion, so he's not really a dark horse, but I just love. Let's see, Shane Lowry. Everything about him is so great. It's like I hope he wins again. He's just the coolest guy.
So I'm going to pick a guy who says he loves links golf, which is Xander.
Yeah.
I think he's going to actually win his second major of the year. And if I have to go with a dark horse, I don't know, I'll throw out Tiger's name because I got to give it maybe the last time he ever plays, according to money. Who you got, Brendan?
I got Bobby Mack. He's gonna go back to back last week's win and this week's win.
Oh, look at that segue. Boom.
And then I like Akshay. I think he's gonna do well. And then I got one of two guys is gonna make some noise of old school guys. Zach Johnson or Stuart Sink's gonna play well. One of those two guys is gonna be up in the top 10, I feel.
It's an interesting observation.
Because Zach played pretty good at the John Deere. He was up near the top of the leaderboard off and on throughout the weekends.
It's because he's an Iowa boy back in Iowa. Segue was Bobby Mack.
Yep.
How exciting and entertaining that was, which will tie into another segue. But how entertaining was that final 9 holes?
Awesome. Awesome. And
Yeah.
you gotta love when a guy wins their national championship. We saw it in Canada. That was last year, right? Last
Yes, it
year in
was.
Canada.
Last year. Yep.
Last year.
And it was and the drama on both of those, they were almost very, very similar with the winning a long putt to go in and the reaction and the crowd reaction. It was just cool. And he like the story of him winning in Canada with his dad on the bag was very cool. And then him winning, his national championship, just a great story. I think that momentum is going to carry into this week.
So, Bobby, you mentioned Ludwig. And 2 things. One, weirdest thing I've ever seen on. I've seen golf balls hit other golf balls on the green, but he dropped his right on top of a fellow competitor, appropriate terminology, and watched it ricochet 30 yards off the green. Hadn't seen really that one before, but I saw a chink in the armor. I think this on Sunday, he just did not look comfortable.
No.
Yeah, you never know what's behind the scenes, but hopefully it gets it out of his system. But yeah, I didn't see a lot of the event. I just saw some of the highlights and things, and but everybody. I think he was picked highly to win the Scottish Open. But I felt like he's sort of playing, and sometimes when somebody doesn't play as well, and there's that little chip on the shoulder, maybe he doesn't feel like. That's why I was leaning to him this week and coming back. Not that I don't love Bobby Mack like that. That's a tough one not to go with him.
Christian, see any of the Scottish?
Yeah, I watched the back 9. Like, I'm gonna go off of what B said. That's right now. It's not even comparable. It's the best win of his career. First off, I don't think he'll ever, unless he wins a major, that's probably going to be the best win ever. He might even put that over a major, to be honest with you, being on home soil. I love Robert McIntyre personally. I love the way he's just a true authentic person. And you got to root for the guy, obviously, when he won with his dad in the bag, and you had to root for him there. It sucks what happened to Akshay missing that short putt, but I think Akshay handled it very professionally, and he's moving on, and he's like, you know what? That doesn't define me as a person. He's just going to try to go out there and win it this week, ultimately.
Is Bobby Mack knocking on his turn at the top, BE? Will he challenge Scheffler?
I don't think it'll go that far, but I think that we could potentially see one more win out of him. Maybe this week, maybe not, but my money says hopefully. But I think he could throw up one more win, and three wins in a season it's pretty good. 2 wins is pretty good.
Very good. I wouldn't even be surprised. Ryder Cup too, depending on how he does. Wouldn't even be shocked when he plays well. Not even when he plays well, honestly. So
He played well in the last Ryder Cup. I think he's got the game.
Yeah.
Christian, you haven't been on in like a year. You got any thoughts on Keegan, the Keegan pick?
I love the pick personally. It shocked me at first when I heard it, but then I was like, wait a minute. Like, I thought he was just like, I was like, Keegan's one of the guys, I was like, he should have been on the team, a couple years ago, but I love it personally. He knows the course. He's fired up. Honestly, I don't think there's anybody more fitting for Bethpage and Keegan. If I'm like looking at it now, he's going to get these guys fired up. And I know for a fact that he's going to pick a way better team than Zach Johnson picked.
Ooh, ouch.
No pun intended, Zach, but
You're right. You're right though.
our team sucked, and we all can agree on that. And I think that we're going to have a better team personally. And I think that it's going to be a phenomenal Ryder Cup to watch because both sides right now are playing very well. And I think that it's not going to be a cakewalk for either side. It's just a matter of who kind of comes up and makes the big clutch shots when they need to, ultimately.
Okay. Golf entertaining. Bryson, YouTube. Little match happened this week. BE, you become like Mr. YouTube watching golfers, not maybe as much as Andy, because Andy watches it all the time. And since he's not here to defend himself in his delayed flight while we're recording, then you know, he is Mr. TikTok, by the way.
Yeah.
Little match that took place, Grant versus Phil. Phil's gonna have to pay off as a loser. Loser.
See, I don't want to be a spoiler for anybody that hasn't seen it, but
Spoil it.
look, I'll tell you what. The lot's been made with Bryson and the personality coming out and him feeling this freedom to kind of express who he is through social media and YouTube. And now Phil's building out his channel when he played with Grant. Again, I've had this life cycle with Phil. I don't think I've ever said this on air, but when I was in high school, I wrote a letter to Phil when he was at Arizona State, and he wrote back to me.
Wow.
And like a stupid ass, after I had a really, really bad tournament, I went home and I was upset and I ripped the letter. So I kicked myself for that. But I've had a love-hate with Phil over the years. When I went to watch him win at the PGA with my dad at Kiowa, that made me like the guy again. And then he went to live and I was like, God, what is he doing? But now I watched him in his personality. And you didn't get to see this with a lot of these guys when, I hate to say it, I'm not a live guy, but I hate to say that there is some truth in some of the things that some of these guys said, where they kind of can't do some of the things that they'd like to do, like have a YouTube channel and do some of this stuff independently without the tour having to approve or whatever the case may be. And Phil, for anybody that is doubting what I'm saying, just go on to Grant Horvat's or whatever Phil's channel is, High Flyers or whatever his team is. Again, I don't watch live stuff, but it is very, very entertaining. And it's not just that. The good guys were with Steph Curry, a day or two ago that got posted. Josh Allen. There's a lot of, celebrity athletes from other sports that are out there starting to do this stuff with these guys. And it's so good for the game. I really feel it's really, really good for the game.
I second that personally. I watch a lot of if I'm sitting in an airport as of late and have time like just for myself, I always go on and I watch Grant, I watch Bob Does Sports. They're my favorite. Bob Does Sports is hilarious.
Those are awesome.
Bobby Fairways, Joey Colcutt's, FP, like those guys are it's just so much fun watching them. But yeah, I think it's awesome kind of like what they've done and what they're able to achieve overall. Maybe one day we have the chance, maybe talking to him. I don't know, but that would be one hell of a round of golf. Wow.
Bobby, are you a golf entertainer?
Every day.
Yes.
Got to entertain.
Great answer.
Got to make the game, the experience that people come out to, especially, with golf coaching and instruction. I do some silly things in front of the group. I talked to the high school team a couple nights ago, and I just try to make my point and get through and not stand there and be monotone like Charlie Brown adults and wah, wah, wah.
Wah,
So,
wah.
There's 1,000,000% entertainment value. Yeah.
I opt to do the blank stare personally.
So, we all got all our talents.
Actually, I've never really gotten into the golf entertainers. I guess I don't have time to sit there and watch the YouTubes or the TikToks.
Well, yeah, I don't watch
I'm
them,
too busy
but
being forced into TikTok videos with Heather sometimes, unwillingly.
Dancing? Are you on there?
Oh yeah, I did a chicken one time.
Wow.
I
Look at
gotta go
that.
back. I gotta go watch that video.
Yeah.
Wow. I had to go viral. I'm gonna make that go viral.
Oh, there's other viral ones that are out there, Christian. There's things.
Bobby and Alan, you guys, I just take 20 minutes one time this next couple of days and watch one of these videos. Watch the Phil and Grant one. You guys don't know these entertainers, the Grant and Garrett and the good guys.
Is that our homework assignment?
That is your homework assignment for the week. You will be graded on next week's show.
We're on it. Okay.
So, Coach, I'm gonna go on. You know what? I should probably go on Golf Live, and then we could talk about golf instruction and golf entertainment all at
Yeah.
the same time. What is Golf Live?
Golf Live's it's an app. I haven't done a show in a while. My last show was with Ted Eleutherio. That was a great show. But yeah, I gotta have you on there. But it's an app where it's real time coaching. The coolest part of it, I think, is it's like FaceTime, so that technology's been around forever, but it's the capturing in real time on the phone and then the drawing tools you can pull up. So whoever your student is, wherever they're at, you can actually in real time as they're playing around or on their range at home, record the swing, say, all right, let's come look at it, and then pull it up onto the screen, and you both can watch is the coach, does all the analysis. It's wild. It's really cool.
Love it. Christian, 18th hole, 18th green. What do you got?
So I'm very excited to be watching the Open tomorrow. I think it's going to be an awesome tournament to watch. I'm happy to be back with the boys also too, first and foremost. I miss you guys. Sorry that I'm running around currently doing, making that impact for myself, but we're getting there. And, it's, I'm going to go back to early in the show really quick for what Alan said, just be nice to people at the end of the day and don't be a monkey F in football.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bobby?
Okay, I think we need a whole show, entire show, talking about the youth golfers in America and my concerns, my grave concerns about what I see with parents, the oversight, the kids losing a lot of the feel for the game. And I mentioned it, I kind of cut to my chase on my 18th green here earlier with the girl 10 yards off the green with a rangefinder. I'm like, are you kidding me? And what I'm seeing this week is what I've seen heightening going back about 15 years ago. We've talked about it on the show before. I'm passionate about it. These parents that are hovering over these kids every single solitary effing shot, analyzing every single solitary effing shot, and they're not helping their kids at all. And they're helicoptering over them every shot, trying to caddy for them. Why can't we go back to the days we carried our bag? Parents stayed at the clubhouse. You got to figure it out. You got to figure it out in a big time. It made you a better player. If it didn't make you a better player, that's okay. Stay in the game. But I don't know. It's so systematic. It's so robotic. A bunch of these kids out here. It's just. I literally could keep talking for the next 2 hours. Like I'm so. You vented earlier, Alan. I'm venting now.
Well, I was with a couple of golf professionals, very good instructors in Jersey, Monday, in fact, and the one teaches a high school team, and he was just shaking his head. He goes, all they want to talk about is what's my stats? What's my numbers? What's my smash factor? And to Christian's point, you lose the creativity of the game. And to Brendan's point, swing your swing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get a bunch of robots. It's a different BEs. It's a different robot than Davis Love III used to be.
Yeah, definitely.
This is where I should interject now. B, I'm going to give you the final thought to ponder that one. I should interject for Andy's sake and say, you know what? When you're watching the Open Championship, you need a quality mixer, and there's nothing better than Q mixers. If you're going to have a premium spirit, you need a premium mixer. And if more than half of your drink's going to be mixer, why not make it a Q mixer? The simple solution, premium ingredients, a hint of sweetness, carbonation, Q mixers. And now my thought is this: shout out to the Denver Police Force. Ask me why, Christian.
Why?
Thank you.
Okay.
Because the Boys and Girls Club, they taught them golf. They took it upon the initiative that's what they wanted to teach young people in the Boys and Girls Club. So shout out Denver Police Force. Good job.
Right.
Good deal. Good on you.
Thank you.
Very good. And with the Q mixer, get the grapefruit. I highly recommend it.
Well, see, I still haven't gotten mine. B, what
Neither
you
have
got?
I gotta make a phone call.
I didn't get mine either. My final thought. I'm gonna
Well, I'm calling Jordan, then skipping right over Andy.
piggyback a little bit on what Bobby said. That was, it was pointing at the text that you had today in our thread about this topic. I was literally talking to my students, and it's a topic that comes up a lot of where the disconnect is in between practicing and we're relaxed and we're calm and we're just out there hitting golf balls and you play well versus tournament. And it's what you're talking about, Bobby. They get so handcuffed by mechanical thoughts or a process, and you need a process. There's no denying that. But my shout out goes to my student Sebastian, who I shouted out last week. He won a tournament this weekend. He shot 74-74, won in a playoff. All my students are really starting to kick in gear. So I'm proud of all these kids. And it's because they're finally seeing that golf doesn't have to be this hard, demanding process that you over process. You can just go out there and play. The tools are in your toolbox. Just go out and play and have fun.
Back-to-back shout outs for Sebastian. Good job, young man.
Yeah.
All right, that's it. All we got. We'll see you next week.